Brown suddenly moves towards Zarutska. The stabbing itself is not shown in graphic
So
detail.
wait, 4 minutes? He decided in 4 minutes that he wanted to kill her, basically. Also a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world, as you know, but this just seems crazy. This is a train stabbing caught on camera, and someone told me it's really bad, and to check it out. So yeah, might as well try something a little bit different. Yeah, check it out. See if it's any, not see if it's any good, but see how crazy it is.
On Friday, August 22nd, 2025, at approximately 9:50 p.m., surveillance cameras recorded 23-year-old Irina Zarutska, a Ukrainian refugee, boarding a Lynx Blue Line light rail train in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, so this is like a subway train or whatever. Okay, and it's at night. It's a lot of people for kind of at night if we'll compare to where I live, but yeah.
Sat quietly, headphones in, looking at her phone. Also on board was 34-year-old DeCarlos Brown Jr., a man already known to local police. His criminal history included armed robbery, felony larceny, and other violent charges. On this night, he had no fixed address and was moving around the city. For several minutes, the train appeared calm. Then, at about 9:50 p.m., Brown suddenly attacked Zarutska with a knife.
Unprovoked, no reason. He just, and you can see him setting it up too. Wait, hold on. Can you see what? Hold on. Why did he do that? Yeah, right here he's getting out. Or is that a phone? Nah, I think he's getting out something. And then, but why though? Why would you do that? I don't know. That's kind of crazy. Cause she's not kind of crazy, because she's just minding her own business. She just got on the train, right? Why would you do that?
Then, at about 9:50 p.m., Brown suddenly attacked Zarutska with a knife. Other passengers fled to the far end of the car, shouting for help and calling 911.
Bro, is that blood?
The train stopped near the East-West Boulevard station in Charlotte's South End. Police officers arrived within minutes.
Oh my God.
They found Zarutska with multiple stab wounds. Despite immediate efforts, she was pronounced dead at the scene.
That is crazy. And I'm pretty sure that was a blood trail, but I don't know, man. He had to be something mentally wrong with that guy for sure. But why was he even let out if he has like? Do you see how many times that guy got arrested? Oh.
Brown
shit.
sustained minor injuries during the attack. Officers secured him on the platform, transported him to a hospital for treatment, and then booked him into the Mecklenburg County Jail.
Wow.
He was charged with first-degree
crazy.
murder. The following morning, Charlotte Mecklenburg police confirmed the victim's identity and released her name publicly: Irina Zarutska. News of her death spread quickly through Charlotte's Ukrainian community.
That's disgusting, man.
Vigils were held at the East-West Boulevard station, where flowers, candles, and flags were placed in her memory. Within days, prosecutors filed motions to keep Brown in custody without bond, citing both the seriousness of the charge and his prior criminal record. A Mecklenburg County judge agreed, ordering him held and requiring a mental competency evaluation before trial. For 2 weeks, this was the extent of what the public knew.
Well.
A young refugee.
Yeah, you see that right there. Look, he's getting a. I think it's like a. I think I have one of those, low key. It's like a flip, like a switch knife or whatever.
A Charlotte train. A suspect arrested and charged, and a community in shock. What no one outside the investigation had seen were the actual surveillance recordings. That changed on September 5th, 2025, when officials released the video, and the story went from a local crime to a global headline. On September 5th, 2025, 2 weeks after the fatal stabbing, the Charlotte Area Transit System, CATS, publicly released surveillance footage from the train where the attack occurred. The video, which contains no audio, shows Irina Zarutska boarding at 9:46 p.m. and sitting with her headphones on. DeCarlos Brown Jr. is seen seated nearby. For several minutes, the footage appears routine. At approximately 9:50 p.m., Brown suddenly moves towards Zarutska. The stabbing itself is not shown in graphic detail.
So wait, 4 minutes? He decided in 4 minutes that he wanted to kill her, basically. 4 minutes. Wow. And you know what's crazy? If she just picked a different seat, obviously it's not her fault, but if she just picked a different seat, it might have not happened, you know? But this guy was crazy, though. Who knows? He might have went for, you know, dude on the other side, too, so I don't know.
But passengers are seen reacting in panic, running to the far
end.
Look
at the blood. Look at the blood. Why is everyone just chilling? Everyone is just chilling. I don't understand that. Everyone is chilling here, man.
Car, pounding on the doors and attempting to call for help. The release of the video generated immediate national and international attention. News outlets across the United States, Europe, and Ukraine carried the footage, emphasizing the fact that Zarutska was a refugee who had fled the war in Ukraine. On social media platforms including TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube, clips of the surveillance footage spread rapidly, gaining millions of views within hours. Hashtags linked to her name trended worldwide. Many commenters expressed outrage that a young refugee who survived war could be killed on public transit in the U.S.
Yeah,
public scrutiny focused heavily on Brown's criminal history. Records confirmed that he had prior
why was this guy let out, bro? Look at his track record, man. Hold on, let me count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 chances, bro.
For armed robbery, felony larceny, and other offenses.
That guy, wait, this one doesn't even look like him, though. Is that him? That looks like somebody else.
Questioned why someone with this background was free to ride public transit without supervision.
Exactly.
In Charlotte, the Ukrainian community organized additional vigils following the video release. Mourners gathered again at the East-West Boulevard station, placing flowers and Ukrainian flags at the site of the attack. The release of the footage shifted the case from a local crime story into a global debate about public safety, repeat offenders, and protections for vulnerable communities.
Repeat offenders,
after his arrest on August 22nd, 2000.
Why is everyone like chilling, bro? Look at the blood.
First-degree murder in the death of Irina Zarutska. In his first court appearance, prosecutors emphasized Brown's lengthy criminal history, which included prior convictions for armed robbery, felony larceny, and violent offenses. They argued he should remain in custody without bond. A judge agreed, ordering him held without bond and requiring a mental competency evaluation to determine if he could stand trial. Court documents confirmed that Brown had cycled through the criminal justice system multiple times over the past decade. His background sparked public debate about how repeat offenders are monitored and why he was not already in long-term custody.
He should be on house arrest, prison, something like that. I don't know how the hell this guy is free to roam the streets like that. That's insane, man.
Following the release of the surveillance video on September 5th, officials faced increased pressure. The Mecklenburg County District Attorney's Office stated that Brown would be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. The DA also acknowledged broader concerns about the handling of defendants with mental health issues, though they did not comment directly on Brown's mental state. The mayor of Charlotte issued a public statement after the video's release, expressing condolences to Zarutska's family and promising to review transit security. City leaders confirmed that Katz would evaluate current safety protocols, including the presence of security staff and surveillance monitoring. Local Ukrainian organizations continued to hold memorials and fundraisers to support Zarutska's family. They also appealed to U.S. and Ukrainian officials for recognition of her.
And she was young too, right? That's what's so sad, man.
Public protection. By early September 2025, the case had evolved into two parallel discussions: the legal proceedings against Brown and the policy debate over public safety and repeat offenders in Charlotte's transit system. The murder of Irina Zarutska gained international attention. Media outlets in the United States, Ukraine, and across Europe covered the case extensively. highlighting the fact that Zarutska had fled Ukraine's war seeking safety in the U.S. in Charlotte.
Yeah, that's the sad part about it, is that she was, you know what I mean? She just escaped the war, and then this happens to her, you know? So, that's sad, man. And this is disgusting. I don't know, I'm sick. Like, just watching this video, and look at her. She doesn't even know. That's what's sad, honestly, but...
Ukrainian community organized multiple vigils at the East-West Boulevard station. Attendees displayed Ukrainian flags, placed flowers, and lit candles in her memory. Community leaders described her death as both a personal loss and a symbol of the vulnerability of refugees abroad. Yeah. Globally, the case sparked discussions about refugee protection, public transit security, and repeat offender policies. Commentators noted that Brown's prior criminal history raised questions about gaps in the justice system. Local officials confirmed that the Charlotte Area Transit System, CATS, was reviewing its safety protocols. Recommendations included increased visibility of security personnel, real-time monitoring of surveillance cameras, and coordination with law enforcement for faster response times. The Mecklenburg County District Attorney's Office reaffirmed its commitment to pursuing first-degree murder charges against DeCarlos Brown Jr. His competency evaluation was ordered, and further hearings are expected as the case moves toward trial. For the international community, Zarutska's story became a high-profile example of a refugee surviving war, but falling victim to random violence in the U.S.-Ukrainian officials and advocacy groups.
Look at the blood trail. That is disgusting, man. Wow. Can I even show this? I don't know.
With Brown in custody without bond and prosecutors preparing for trial.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This is why, like, I'm scared to take the subway or whatever. You know, situations like this. You know, I'm glad that, you know, I have a car, but what if I didn't have a car, you know? And sometimes, you know, locally, I do take the subway sometimes, and shit does happen on there, so, you know, I'm not immune to that either. So, but this is just sad, honestly, and, you know, condolences to, you know, the family, her family for sure, and, yeah, lock this guy out, bro. Jesus. Trust in me and all that I say. Tell me, can we live?